What's up, y'all? We are back with Tyler Perry's Sisters, Season 5, Episode 5, Wounded Eros. The episode picks back up with Andy outside of Gary's hospital room because y'all know he had foam coming out of his mouth. So in comes the doctor, and Andy asks, what's going on. The doctor tells Andy that Gary suffered a seizure and that they're doing everything they could to, get him back, to get him to come to. And I'm just like, y'all really don't have to do that. It's not necessary. But y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Anyway, here comes Hudson trampling down the hall like the bulldog he is, getting on my nerves, like just throwing his POA around, insulting Andy. Like, I'm just like, I can't stand him. He could go, okay? And so we finally get to the theme song. My girls were so hey. Anyway, child, we back at the salon with Karen, her dress, Pam, these edges, the rags to roots to riches, the homegirl edges still gone. Ma'am, please, okay? Now she want to sue them and this and that. Pam, you know what? Let's go back. Let's go to the office where Hayden, we're in Hayden's office, and he walks in and sees Miss Marie Willis sitting in the seat with baby Marie. I don't know who did Sister Marie Willis hair this season, but the curls are curling like them Shirley Temples, okay? So Hayden being Hayden asked her if he misses her his blankety blank, and I was just like, I'm sorry. She asked Hayden, did he miss her? And I was just like, okay, Varnell Hill, did you miss me? Anyway, child, then Hayden started bragging on his bed game, and I'm just like, okay, Hayden, okay. And he all in his feelings, acting like he ain't married, even though we know this marriage was farce. He's still all up in his feelings about Miss Marie, because baby Miss Marie done put that cougar and tamed him, okay? And we're gonna keep it cute. Anyway, child, let's go over to the bank. All right, Rich comes in and he wants to apply. He claimed he told Sabrina he wanted to come in and apply for a loan, and then she hears all this commotion. Paige comes downstairs and starts to harass Maurice about the pen he was using, and it was just this whole back and forth. He called Paige Jolene, and Rich get on my nerves. I just don't like him on here. Paige get on my nerves. At this point, Marie had to pull a Dina on her. You unprofessional. If y'all watch Dreamgirls with Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson. Anyway, so he get the rolling his little man parts all on Sabrina. She was like, listen, you can go apply to Club Eden. That's what that's the bar that Madam owns. Anywho, so Sabrina gets a call from Danny, and child, she's down to the bar drinking, and then Sabrina goes to pick her up. So we fly back to the office. Oh, child, I'm tired. We fly back to the office where Miss Marie told Hayden that you need to do better in every area. Baby, I can't stand hate. Like, I feel like this whole episode was surrounded by hate around Hayden, and I don't know if that is a foreshadowing for something to come, but whatever it is, Tyler, if it has a lot to do with Hayden, we don't want it because we don't like him. Anyway, so We back at the salon where there is now a Roots to Riches protest, and it goes, "Roots to Riches, wreck your edges," and I was just like, what? So apparently she done got on live, called some people to come down there and stress out Karen, that black dress, that baby Pam, and the Rooster Riches, and me. Okay? Because Pam, you should have got your stuff tested. And then that's another thing. Girl, Sabrina. I'm sorry, what's her name? Karen. Ma'am. You probably shouldn't have invested in that. And you know that she didn't get this stuff tested. I cannot. Anyway, let's go back to the hospital. Andy is having flashbacks about Gary, trying to replay Gary as this good guy, but he's always been a terrible person since season 1, episode 1. He brought that cupcake to her, and then his phone rung, and he said that was her lying about his wife, talking about he was going to divorce her, and he never did. You know what? I'm tad. Okay. So Andy go into this spew. She gets angry at herself, and she starts to reflect and ask why she need all of this validation over these men. And child, she stopped and she said, "I would never be manipulated or controlled ever." So maybe I'm guessing this is another foreshadowing for a different version of Andy, not really the airheaded version that we get, especially when it comes to these men. But whatever. What I did realize is all of the sisters, everybody in the sister circle is going through. And even though Fatima and Pam isn't technically in the sister circle, they are still going through. So we get back to the office. Miss Marie prior asked Hayden to check into Roots to Riches, do all the attorney work that he need to do, check into it, see what it's about, everything. So Hayden is just so ignorant, and so I'm just like, oh, sir, who hurt you? What did your mama do to you? Like, I'm gonna say this disrespectfully. Hayden is an ignorant little bastard prick, okay? And that's just me being nice. Anyway, Marie reminds Hayden he wouldn't have that job if it wasn't for her talking to Robin. So apparently Hayden was probably about to get his walkie papers, but Marie Willis stepped in, talked to Robin, and just kind of smoothed everything over. So we find Danny at the bar. Sabrina, not we, but we as in Sabrina, finds Danny at the bar. She calls herself a dummy. She don't think that she needs therapy. Girl, yeah, you do. You still need to continue your therapy. She wants to continue to just have this physical relationship with Tony, and it was just a back and forth between her and Sabrina. She tells Sabrina that her and Tony claps them cheeks 2 to 3 times a day, and I was like, wow. But hey, if that's what y'all got, that's what y'all got. So Danny tells Sabrina about the leadership program that Tony had put her in, and that he signed her up for. And Sabrina says that she's confused because she feels like Tony is trying to help. Meanwhile, Danny thinks that Tony is trying to change her. And so I'm just at this point, like, I know what I said last week when I put up the last video, and he really should have consulted her. But sometimes we never get a full description from Danny as to what she wants from a man. But she is specific on what she don't want you to do. She will directly tell you. It is no indirect, no black and white. If she doesn't say it, apparently she doesn't want it. And I don't know if it's almost like we have these men that come into Danny's life and can sometimes feel uncomfortable with who she is. And that's the one thing I don't like. And I could be wrong, y'all. So anyway, we get back to the office, and Fatima calls Zach, saying, something. She thinks that something foul is going on in the office, and all Zach talking about is Zacco's and Siesta's child. Okay, and they still protesting over at the salon. So we go back to the law office where Hayden is just standing outside of the door watching Fatima. Then he comes in, just being an angry little prick that he is. And I'm just like, so we got Gary in out, okay, and now Hayden just happens to have all this smoke, so he spews out all of his unnecessary crap to Fatima. And I'm just like, okay, like, we have to go the whole season with this, like, So we get back to the penthouse with Andy, and she starts to wonder, what did Jordan do that night? And was he the one that Gary? So she started to have flashbacks from the wedding when Jordan came to see her. So I kind of think that she thinks Jordan did it. So then we get back to Danny and Sabrina. Danny thinks that Tony is trying to change her. Sabrina thinks that Danny is being hard on Tony. And then we see Tony and Rich walk in the bar. And then Fatima walks in the house to tell Zach about what's happening at work. They start to, Zach, start to add Robin to the list. And then Fatima thinks that they should add Marie Willis to the suspect list. Why is Marie Willis? Because she listened to whatever Hayden said, and he was just lying. Like, I don't know, maybe I missed something in that communication, but when Marie Willis was talking to Hayden, I don't think that in that moment, like, I felt like she was trying to, like, tell Hayden how to conduct himself, and not be such a a-hole. But I don't know. Shall we go back to the salon, child? They still protesting. And at this point, I'm stressed out. Karen's stressed out. That black dress is stressed out. And those babies and Pam are stressed out. And at this moment, Pam is also getting on my nerves. Because, ma'am, before you come out with your business, you probably should have did a whole lot of research. So, yes, I forgot to mention that Andy got a text. We don't know from who, and whoever it was, they wanted to come over. She was like, yeah. So apparently that text was when it was Jordan. Well, she thought it was just Jordan. So she turned around when the elevator opened, and we see Penelope and Jordan walk in, and baby Penelope came in with all this smoke. I was like, girl, okay. So she tried to hug Jordan, and Penelope was like, because of you and Gary, we've been going through a lot. And I would like to say that I don't understand why everybody seems to blame Andy for what Gary is doing. That's the problem I have. Let's be clear. As far as Pernell and Gary, Andy didn't know anything about them. The only reason she knew is because she met Jordan. Jordan introduced him, his sister, to her. This is how we found out about Gary. Go check it out. Last season, he was married to her, engaged to her, or something. I think they were married or whatever. She was pregnant. That girl ain't know nothing about that. This was you. She told you about him, and you decided to do the dumbest thing and go confront him after she asked you not to. So you can miss me with this smoke, because the person you mad at is the person that's in the hospital having seizures. So I cannot get with this. So y'all, Penelope slapped Andy. Pow! I was like, oh girl, no ma'am. No ma'am. And once again, baby, where all this smoke come from? But you know what, y'all will find out next week. Because this is where the episode ends. So, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.